All right, so last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess we're doing this every other week. But 2 weeks ago, we started off with O.J. Simpson,
We did.
and we are gonna start off this episode with something equally as creepy, and that is periodical cicadas. Couple of things they have
That
in common with O.J. Simpson: they are both very, very insecty, right? And then
make your
also
skin crawl.
they're also both going to be dead. One is already dead, and the others are going to be dead soon. Um,
Very soon. Yeah.
so, first thing for you, before we even talk about this, Katie, how aware of you of periodical cicadas?
So I read a little bit on what you were sending me. That is freaking wild. Wild. Cicadas don't bother me. Being from where I'm from, they're like everywhere. I would find a little old shells of little cicadas around. And I was like, look. Thought they were.
Well,
I was a weird kid.
I think it's interesting because there's one thing to be talking about cicadas, and we're both in Texas, so we're pretty familiar with cicadas in Texas. Now, where
Yeah.
I'm originally from in Massachusetts, not so much. There's not really a whole lot of them up there. But I want to
Yeah.
I want to kind of talk a little bit to our audience about what a periodical cicada is, and why this is kind of a really cool event that's going on right now. Equally as rare, by the way, as the eclipse that we recently talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Hmm.
The periodical cicadas are just like regular cicadas, except they're not. And I know, crazy. But the main difference between them is a periodical cicada actually lives underground. They are an underground creature, and then every so often they are released out into the world, and you get millions and billions of these creatures. Well, these periodical cicadas live in what's called a brood, and there are different broods across the country. And for some reason, they release at different times. So they have like 14-year broods and 17-year broods. And then every couple hundred or couple thousand years, these two dates will match up, and the 14-year brood and the 17-year brood are released out into the world. And then the rest of the world is
Plague.
so happy about it.
Like the plague.
It is, and you know, a group. I think a group of cicadas is called a plague. I could be
Is
wrong.
it?
I think it is. I think it is.
I mean, that would make sense.
So the simultaneous appearance of the two cicada broods that are releasing this year, which are known as brood number 19 and brood number 13, is a rare event. This has not happened since 1803. 1803 is the last time that both of these broods appeared at the same time. Just to give that context, Thomas Jefferson was president the last time this happened. Crazy stuff.
It's pretty wild.
It
Pretty,
is.
pretty wild.
Now, the thing is there are thousands of species of these cicadas around the world, but only 10 of these species are considered periodical, which again means that it has a life cycle that involves basically the juveniles live underground. And they feed on plant sap from the roots of trees and things like that. And then when they become adults, they go out into the world, and I guess the reason for this is because they're breeding. They became adults, and now it's time to die.
Do you hear that?
Is that your dog?
That's the plague.
So what's your dog
Yes,
doing?
it's my dog. He's so needy. He's like a freaking child. I mean, he doesn't even need anything. He has food. He has water. He just got let in from outside. He's just being a bud.
So what's cool about this is there will be trillions of cicadas. Trillions.
I saw that.
Trillions.
Like, in my little brain that loves horror movies and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, I want to look up at the sky and just see like swarm of them, but at the same time, that's terrifying.
Now, I don't think this is going to occur very much here, though. This is apparently
Yeah.
from Maryland to Oklahoma, from Illinois to Alabama, is what they're saying. So there might be some crossover effect here in Northeast Texas. I doubt it, though.
Hope.
But apparently, the biggest thing that this is going to create more than anything, it's going to create some fear and amongst people and things like that. My mom, for example, is terrified of June bugs, so I'm sure this would
Oh,
not.
I don't I don't mess with June bugs. Cicadas don't bother me. I just don't want one like in my hair.
So
That's it.
you're more afraid of June bugs than cicadas.
Yes.
Okay, we'll unpack that in a minute. Hold that thought.
I don't know why, but yes.
But the biggest thing, other than fear, is this is going to create food for hundreds of species of creatures across the United States. Just in trillions of these little cicada bodies turn into food. That's what they are. They're going to create food for all of these other animals. And they're saying that's a good thing. Apparently there are endangered and protected species that are going
Cicadas?
that not the cicadas, but the cicadas will be feeding the endangered species.
Gotcha.
And will
That's
perhaps help some of those species out. This is just a natural thing that happens every 14 or 17 years. Now, what I think is really funny is some of the mottos or whatever that the phenomenon is coming up with. People are coming up with catchphrases like "Cicada Geddon" is one that I heard, and Cicada Palooza. Like, it makes me think that we're gonna go to like some rock concert and like there's just gonna be a bunch of these periodical cicadas. Like, and I was even thinking too, Periodical Cicada. We should put them on tour with Path of Totality.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
We're coming up with the perfect tour.
Perfect lineup. Yeah,
that's right. Path of Totality, Periodical Cicada. What else can we come up with this show?